All right. Let me check and make sure everything's working. Un momento. All right, seems to be on. And center this frame up a little bit. Maybe I should bring the camera over this way. Sorry, I always had this perfect. But I lowered everything down a little bit so I can rest my arms up here because we do a lot of paint. So I went ahead and primed the bases and some of these little small parts just because I needed to use the bases for stands. So I'm gonna prime the boys next. Oh, I gotta prime their little bandanas too. Now this I'm definitely gonna have to try to keep in order. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Actually, I bet the keyholes will tell me which ones are which. So I set them in order over here. So it's Leonardo, Michelangelo. And this one is Donatello, Raphael. There we go. So, yeah, these. I need to clean them. Need to hit them with a little bit of sandpaper. Whoa, just I kind of like the ragginess on the edges, actually. I think it's gonna be fine. Oh, there's a spot right there. Do I not have a little piece of sandpaper anywhere? Just knife it. Just a little burr from a support. There we go. I don't want to sand these things too much. I'm afraid they're going to break. But yeah, like I said, Ooh, it does look like I need to trim that key down some so not rest against his head unless there's still something in there. Which is entirely possible. No, I think I want to need to trim this key down some. Yeah, let's do that. Easiest solution. There we go. Let's see what's going on. There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right, so it's a nice fit. But I don't want that on here right now. Got a little bit of a. I don't know why I'm running back and forth. Let me go grab my X-Acto knife here. Hey, what's up? Just getting ready to finish priming these guys and start painting. It's so hot here. I primed the bases this morning and I put the parts outside, and within like half an hour they were completely dry and ready to go. So that was pretty awesome. Global warming is not awesome, but trying to make this thing so I can come in and out a little easier. All right, here we go. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna still keep those separate because I do not want to accidentally snap one off. We'll put them in order across that back row there. All right, I need to clear a little space. I'm getting a little cramped. Yep, I'm gonna prime these guys, and all right, since that other one was pretty tight, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this one needs to be cut as well. Chow, man, that really just shot off somewhere. I can see Mikey's got a little bit of a some supports down in there. Oh yeah, nice. All right, there was Raphael. This is Michelangelo. Check Donatello's keyhole here. It's pretty clear. Oh, nice. Well, it's pretty rad when it's all said and done. Oh, I see another support on Donatello. I need to scratch out. All right. Oh yeah, Donatello's got a couple little supports in there. All right, I think that's good. Ready to be primed. Let's check out Leonardo. Yeah, priming the bases first I think was probably a good idea for these. Otherwise, trying to work on them would have been difficult, to say the least. He's got a little short shaft on his ribbon key, so I'm gonna try to not cut it. Yeah, no, that's perfect. The other ones were just exceedingly long. All right. All right, let's get this up on a stick. Go back over to the airbrush box. Do some priming. And I got a couple little accessories I can paint while I'm waiting for the prime to dry. All right. I know this has got a couple spots that need to be primed. This has got a couple spots right there. That is good for paint. That is good for paint. Could hit his toes just a little bit more. Fire hydrant's good for paint. Yeah, this stuff dried so fast outside because it's like 94 degrees with an index of like 109. Ridiculous. All right. These guys are going to look so good. I'm excited. Get them primed. Let me dust them one more time. Put away my goggles and my nippers. I use my dry brush to dust it. It's nice and soft. I'm definitely gonna need to move slowly around these guys. They've got a lot of little delicate parts kind of dangling. Giving them a quick dusting to make sure there's no debris or anything that I don't want primed into the surface. They're clean. I cleaned them already a while ago. Also, just a chance to give it kind of one last inspection. For any little surface damage or missed supports. That one. All right. He's ready for priming. Check out Michelangelo. Oh, Scoops Roadie. Yeah, he's gonna be a little tricky. I left his little nunchucks in here kind of loose, so I can move them around and paint around them.
Overdrive, flying through
dental work on Mikey. Got to clear the supports between his teeth. They're looking a little jagged. You have to prime with a brush to get in his mouth. Gotta find a color for their toes. Nails, fingernails. I usually do those like just an off or a lighter version of the skin tone color, but I think I'm gonna do something a little more contrasty, like a brown or a tan. These models are pretty simple. I did decide I'm just going to paint all their wrappings the same color. I was going to do them the same as their mask color, you know, just to add a little bit more color to these models. But after looking at some pictures, I decided to, or some reference material, I decided to go with the wraps, like a wrap color, and just do the masks in their, you know, character color. Try and give myself enough room here that I don't catch Raphael's size or Leonardo's swords on accident. Wish I had a bigger table. Don't have to sit in their bases perfectly every time. Leonardo. Let's do your belly there, Chief. Yeah, he's got the longest parts, so kind of the hardest to work around. I am happy I was able to get those swords. The katana is nice and straight. I ended up hitting them with a heat gun, straighten them out a little bit. These are going to be fun to paint. I mean, that is kind of the whole goal, right? Just have fun. All right, dusted and ready. Let's get some primer set up. Water through here. Should probably mute this so you're not listening to my air compressor. Sorry about that. Minor family baking emergency. My kid's making a tres leches cake with a little partner, and needed some help with a meringue. So I was called. The bat signal, the dad signal went up. All right, back to the thing. Sorry, I was muted. Hey, Sam. The paper towels are just so that the spray booth doesn't get just, uncleanable. It's much easier to rip out the, paper towels whenever it starts to get, when after your spray booth builds up and then it gets like that fuzzy kind of like build up. That's what I'm trying to avoid. So. I need a new bottle of primer. I'm going to mute this again because I'm just going to be in this air compressor and stuff is going to be loud. Yeah, I'm glad I started doing this after. Well, say at first I had a homemade spray box, and yeah, I noticed that it was building up pretty quick, and so once I got this new plastic one from Amazon or whatever, I first thing I did was wrap it up, so it's still like brand new underneath. Can you hear? Do you hear the fan and stuff? I don't know if my mic is picking it up. It's not showing on the volume bars, showing as being picked up, but you can probably still hear it. Whatever. Okay. I gotta be very, very careful to not hit his front or back. This one's gonna be a little difficult. Oh, hey, yeah. Hey, Sam. Yeah, thanks, man. Glad you enjoy it. I kind of wanted to do something just like hanging out, and people who are of similar ilk, maybe painting their own things while they're streaming my paint session. I had that happen a couple times. I just There's this guy in Italy that he happens to have the same schedule or have a paint schedule that lines up with my paint schedule, just opposite. And so he'll get on and be painting while I'm painting, and it's kind of fun. Some people just like to hear the sounds of other people doing stuff in the background. I totally understand that too. It's like we're all doing our individual things, but doing them together. I'm shooting like a stormtrooper right now. I can't hit anything. I don't know what's going on. I think this. I'm at the bottom of a bottle of primer right now, so I think it's just old. Let's get a new bottle. Oh, nice. Are the CAD or the CA studios? Are those are the ones that are just like super ornate, that are like up, hanging out on top of a building or something, right? I think I've seen that one. I like the old school turtles. I like the '90s version. Give this cup a rinse. Actually, I probably got some dried primer up in here. At this point, I've been going for a minute. Oh, that's right. It's the Zez one. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the Michael Bay ones. Oh yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, those are not my favorite look for the turtles. I thought they was a little too, I don't know, meh. To each his own. That's why they make them different. Those are cool looking though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. They're pretty dope looking. I just I have a special. I built a cutout in my office or my studio around a fireplace, and so I have this really long, shallow shelf built in, and that's where these turtles are going. I'm making these where I can kind of spread them out. Make sure I get these swords covered. Yeah, painting the. I usually don't paint these statues in all when they're all pieced together like this, but in this particular instance, it was easier to do it this way. I usually do them all in pieces because painting around all these little parts, pain in the ass. And I'm also being very, very careful to not like brush up against the bottom box. But yeah, it's about now that I'm regretting attaching all this stuff. Oh yeah, this new bottle is atomizing a lot easier. What primer am I using? It's the Vallejo surface primer, black. I'm probably going to go back with a white, give them a Zenithal. I use the Vallejo white as well. I like the Vallejo primer. You know, number one, it's airbrush friendly. Versus, I know some people use a rattle can. But this also, when it dries, it just flattens out really nicely. Like it just flattens out really nice, and it dries pretty quick, which is nice too. Getting under his arms and stuff is going to be a pain. I have to shoot it from a distance. So many little nooks and crannies in this guy. Let's get through the tips. Alright. Whew. I'm trying to realize the difference. Yeah, right, I know. I don't always do it. I'm a little heavy-handed sometimes with my paint. But it does help later on when you're trying to find highlights and stuff. It does make it a little easier. And it does give you a subtle shift in like your base coat, you know, your base tone. I do a pretty heavy, kind of cartoony base tone anyway. Like I do a heavy black or darkness, and then kind of work my way to light. You know, I work my way up. I guess it really just depends on the model, but this is not fun to paint right now. I think I'm gonna have to invest in a larger spray booth. This is getting ridiculous. All right. Oh, missed a spot. Getting real good. All right. Yeah, this little Amazon box is a little too small. I think I may go and DIY one to use one of those larger, like the bin, like a storage bin. Touch-ups. Let these boys dry. I think I can move on to spray paint some other stuff. Definitely some of these little metal bits. Go ahead and get that painted. This little base coat on there. So that, ooh, it's hot in here. That I think I want to do in gunmetal. Actually, I think I'm gonna do I want the mouser to be pretty shiny. I'm gonna do him in the Vallejo chrome. The little mouser. I gotta clean the primer out of my brush. Hold on 1 second.
You don't make up for your sins in the church. You do it in the streets. You do it at home. The rest is bullshit and you know it.
Yeah, speaking of quarter scale, oh, let me turn this off loud. Ooh, speaking of quarter scale, I'm gonna do I got a green lantern I want to do quarter scale. Going again in one of the cutouts over my fireplace or on the side of my fireplace. Kind of a tall, skinny box, going to be at least 2 feet tall. And then I want to do a quarter scale Thanos to go in the corner above my desk, and that is going to be sweet. I'm looking forward to that one. I may push it up ahead, especially in that since I just got there's an Amazon deal right now on Anycubic plant-based resin, which is what I like to use. So I just picked up 3 bottles today because they were super on sale, like almost 30% off. You could only get a bottle of 2 and then a single bottle. like to get their little deal. So I had to trick the system a little bit, but I got 3 bottles for super cheap. All right, let's go to the airbrush box. Paint this bad boy. Oh, pressure's too high. Yeah, the texture on there looks super cool. Yeah, I've been an Anycubic guy since I started, so I tried trying to think of what it was called. Sunlu, I believe was one. These I want to do in something a little bit of a darker metal. Gunmetal maybe. Or do I want to do iron? Go with this plate mail. Yeah, the Sunlu. Yeah, the Sunlu sucked. I agree. Also, the packaging was weird. I don't know. I love my little paint shaker. All right, this is a plate mail. They all separated into that. Yeah, I found that to be the case. I didn't like them. It was hard to get a consistent print. Like I'd get them to print, but it was hard to like dial it in because it's so inconsistent sometimes. All right, so this is plate mail. can't even read that label. I just realized it was covered up with this price tag. I hate it when they do that. Price tag over it. I'm gonna do the plate mail for the manhole cover and the little grate. Gonna do a bunch of weathering on it anyway, so it's cool. Bubbling out of my gun. Stuff comes out too easy. Just realized I was flooding this thing and couldn't even see it. Yeah, this was a good color for this thing. Shiny. And now let's get a little bit of this vampire red on this fire hydrant. But first, I need to change out color here in my airbrush. I wish somebody would have told me at the beginning of this hobby how much time you spend just cleaning out an airbrush. I think for my birthday I'm gonna treat myself to a new airbrush, one with a little speed change in the back, you know, so you can get to the needle quicker without having to decap it to clean it. I think I'm gonna get one of those. Just to live a little. All right, cool. Vampire. Oh, let me give it a shake. I love my little paint shaker. He's the best. All right, vampire red, fire hydrant. Let's go. Windex based. Oh, to clean your clean the airbrush. I just run water through it all my paints and stuff too. So For a deep clean, I'll use, alcohol. My little speed changes though. Water is usually enough. My red. A little liquidy here. Maybe it's alright. Yeah, it's definitely a little more liquidy than I like. Oh yeah, I flooded it. Like 1/3 Windex, 1/3 alcohol, 1/3 water, dish soap. Alright, I'll give that a try, man. Thanks, Sam. Sounds like it could work. It's just a couple more coats. That painting the red over the black takes a little bit extra. Should have painted it white, but that's okay. I don't want it to be a bright red until I dry brush it anyway. Now it's got a nice red. I missed one little spot. A little bit more. Trying to get better about not mixing up so much paint in the cup. I feel like I waste so much paint. Trying to get better about my quantities. All right, now you're good. It's just so easy to, you know, mix up so much, too much, because it doesn't seem like it's that much. But especially with an airbrush, really like, what I'm talking about, like expands it, you know, stretches it out. I gotta go clean this brush again. I appreciate you hanging out with me, Sam. It's always nice when got some company. So nice having a long weekend, 4th of July. I actually may get these guys done over this weekend. I got 4 days. And these models are pretty simple. Junk in there. Nice. Yeah. That's the way to play it. Let's play the PTO game. Yeah, well, I'm off. I had a half day yesterday, and then I got Friday off, and so yeah, nice 4-day weekend for me. But yeah, if I can get these guys done, I think I am gonna go ahead and do the Thanos statue next. No. I'm gonna do the Green Lantern. I need to get that hole filled. But I am pretty excited about doing the Thanos. I don't know. I'm gonna see how I feel when I get done with this. The Thanos would definitely be a nice boost in traffic for my YouTube channel, that's for sure. because that thing is going to be freaking awesome. And I'd say there's probably a lot more people that know Thanos than care about the Green Lantern. But I do have the perfect statue picked out for that, for the Green Lantern. I kind of thought about the statues as I was building the shells. Then I need some tall, skinny statues. The Wolverine Sabretooth diorama from Wicked, I think, is definitely going to go in one of those tall, skinny slots. Yeah, the quarter scale statue. Yeah, Thanos. That's why I've got a perfect spot for him. I've got a corner of my office where I've got 2 Avengers posters. I've got the 2 Infinity War posters, and I'm going to put a shelf right there in the corner and then stand him up in between the two posters. It's going to look sick as shit. I can't wait. It is going to be gigantic, and I am very excited about that. I think you may have just convinced me to do that one next. All right, airbrush is clean. I don't think I need it anymore. So right now, let's paint these weapons. Keep my red out in case I need that. Plate mail in case I need that. I think I decided to go mahogany. Yeah, go this mahogany brown for the base for the bow staff and his little nunchucks here. Everything else I need to let dry a while longer. Primer. Actually, before I do this, let me take a quick health and safety break. I'll be right back. And the back. Opening my water bottle and mixing sick. I still need to buy a different water bottle because this bottle's been great, but it's always too much. If I just need like a tiny drop, I can't get a tiny drop. I have to get a big ass squirt of it. I don't like that. I do love these little silicone cups though, because when it dries, like overnight, I just pop the little thing out and it peels right out of the silicone. It's so easy to clean. It's fantastic. I'm just gonna have a lot of browns happening because they've got wood, they've got leather, they've got their toes, they got their shells, they've got ropes, and there's gonna be a lot of brown happening. I need to kind of be careful with what colors I'm doing for what. All the wood I'm going to do in this mahogany. Those are next on. Oh, the little silicone cup thing. I'll tell you what though, man, these things sold out fast. Like I had to wait a while for this, so just FYI. And I did buy some of the. Hold on, let me show you. The first ones I bought were these like small ones. The cups are too small to be of any use, and because it's not white, it's hard to see like what the actual color is, because it's like the gray would skew it or this cream color would skew it. And like I said, the little cups were just too small. So now I've got some little pointless things I don't know what to do with. Probably use them for like trivets or something. Yeah, like I said, the fidget things they're good, except the paint cups are too small. These are for baking. They're for like the little they make little balls, I guess, like chocolatier balls or whatever. These cups are much bigger. The little fidget things, the cup is like a quarter of the size. Like it's just a tiny little. I used this for about a week and it was just like pointless because I could never mix up enough, and it was too hard to get at, like to clean and everything. So, but these little slightly larger cups are the way to go for me. I also just ordered some wrist pads so I can prop my elbows on the table when I paint. Yeah, I can see. I guess if you didn't need that much, of a reservoir, but it was too small for me. The little chocolatier ball one is get a little more paint per cup, and it's a little easier to clean. They're both easy to clean, but these models are probably going to be pretty easy to paint, so I hope I can get them done over this holiday break. Oops. Yeah, definitely got to get comfortable with the new height of this paint desk. I've lowered it down a little bit so that I could rest my arms on it, but it's taking a little bit of getting used to. Wilton's Cake Supply Store, a block away. Yeah, they would probably have that. Like, or I mean, I don't know if they would have it, but like a supply, like any kind of chef or cooking supply store would probably have it, where they have like chocolatier kind of making stuff. What printer were these printed on? These I printed on an Anycubic M3 Premium. I've telling Sam, I've always been a Anycubic guy since I started. I think they make good printers, but I mean, I haven't tried others, so. But the print quality is really good. I mean, especially because it's like an 8K. I think it's an 8K printer. Those extra Ks make a difference, man. I want all the Ks. I started on a little 4K printer, a little like a, what was it called? Anycubic. Yeah, I think it was called an Anycubic 4K actually, but it was tiny. It was only like this wide, right about that deep, a couple feet, 15 inches tall, something like that. Very, very small, but it was perfect for when I, was starting out, and I just had it on my desk and everything. I printed my first model in February of 2022, like my first statue. And I love that little printer. And that thing is a beast, man. It's still been going. And actually, my first upgrade was to a Mono X, Anycubic Mono X, and it was a good size. It was a good size printer, but it was 4K, but because of the size, the 4K really kind of, the resolution didn't seem to matter that much. Like it didn't see much of an improvement. And the little Z rod in the back, it had some wobble, and I never got around to fixing it. So I don't know. I just wasn't happy with the output. But my first commission piece that I did paid for my M3 Premium, and so that was pretty dope. I basically got a machine for free. I mean, not free, but it cost me a Goldan. I like that statue. That was a fun one. Oops. Yeah, so the M3 Premium, it'll hold like, oh god, it'll hold so much resin. Like it'll easily hold a full, like, what is it, 1,000 kilograms? Like a full tall bottle of resin, and probably two. I think it'll hold two. Like the vat is huge, and that makes like a really nice difference, because like I don't go to bed worried about if it's going to run out or not. I've never had that thing run out. Like I can't print anything large enough to run that vat empty. So highly recommend that. I was thinking about getting one with the autofill, but I think that might be too big. Bed is too small for 1/6, 1/4. So move the max. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's 2 bottles. Yeah, those things. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I like it. I especially like that, like, it's not problematic. Like, I hate here. I see all these guys on the beginner printer forums, and it sounds like some of them are just having such a hard time getting their printers to print, and that sucks because, like, I don't know if I'm just charmed, I got a horseshoe in my butt or what, but I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't had any issues other than that Z rod thing. But even that, it's like I could have fixed it. Like, I knew what was going on with it. It wasn't that big of a deal. I just didn't have the inclination to fix something that I wasn't happy with anyway. So I may just sell it for parts. I still got it. I modified the enclosure, like the hood, to have a built-in heater. Like, I made a DIY like enclosure heater. So that's pretty cool. I may just sell it on eBay or something. Just be like, look, it prints, like, you could see the layer lines it was printing at as prints got taller, the wobble on the Z was getting it would get too much, like, and then it would start to become visible. The base, it was fine, like, it was printing great. But as it got taller, as the print got taller, the wobble just became too much. But yeah, once I understood, like, the basic physics of, kind of like what was going on with, like, the FEP and the suction and, orientation, like all that stuff, like, once I got a good handle on that and could, replicate success with my orientations, now it's just, I don't even have to worry about it. Now, do you guys, Matt, the off, yeah. I use the NFEP, the slicker one. I guess it supposedly it's got like some kind of silicone coating or something. I totally forgot what I was going to say. Like a little wood texture in here. I'm trying to force the paint down into the grooves so that whenever I add wash to this, mix up the color. Yeah, since I started printing now, just like I said, oh, that's what I was going to ask. Do you use the pre-supported files, or do you support your own? Like, I like to support my own, mainly because, like, I know my machine, and like I said, it, like, the Lychee doesn't like to bring in the pre-supported files anyway. But I probably over-support my files, but I would rather over-support my files and deal with a bunch of failures. Actually, at the beginning of this, I did have a failure. The mouser failed twice. I don't know, the orientation was weird. But that mouse failed twice, but it failed in 2 different places. So I was able to Frankenstein one successful print from the 2 broken ones. I was scared of getting a resin one after watching like 30 reviews. Well, I mean, scared of what exactly? Resin, like working with resin in general? Because I have to admit, there's a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to that. You've tried both, the Lychee Pro with the auto-generate. Yeah, the auto-generated support feature is nice, but it'll put clusters. Like, it'll bunch up a bunch of supports. And that I don't like, because then when you peel off the supports, you got big chunks, of support holes to sand out. And I'll use the auto support on, like, things that aren't, necessarily super detail oriented or whatever. I don't have to worry about it, like, background pieces or whatnot. But yeah, what I usually do is I'll use the auto internal support, and then I'll use the island finder. I'll do the find island with the detail set to pretty high, whatever the second to last setting is. I'll do a high detail search for islands, and then after that I start at each island and kind of build out around it. Double check it, because also I don't trust the computer to get all the islands, so I double check where it puts those layers. And then after that, the projection supports in Lychee are awesome, especially for doing big bases. Like you can tilt them up, and then just do the projection support from underneath, and you can adjust the iterations or the distances between the iterations. And I think there's even like a randomize button, which is really nice too. And yeah, that projection support thing made supports so much faster. I love that thing. Super duper handy. I never had too much luck with the paint on supports though. Where you like click and drag and kind of paint them on. I can never get that to work. Not successfully anyway. Oh, your tiny apartment? Yeah. Yeah, and also like if you build a ventilated enclosure, so that it can blow like out the window in an apartment. That would be plenty. Like I bought an IKEA cabinet and got one of those grower tent ventilation systems, and just drilled a hole, like a little 4-inch vent hole, hooked up the exhaust, and ran the controls to the outside. It vents right through a window, and that was that really works for a small space for ventilating your machines. It's funny because like when I first started, I thought, it's got to be like a clean room in here. It's like everything's got to be ventilated, and I got to wear PPE all the time, and I still wear goggle or safety glasses because I'm not trying to get that splashed up in my eye if something happens. But as far as air quality goes, I keep a carbon filter, like with the activated charcoal micro filter thing. It's for VOCs. You want to make sure you get a filter for VOCs, which are like the organic compounds in the resin that make you sick, I guess, or that would affect organic things like your body. Anyway, get a filter that handles VOCs. But for the most part, as long as you're ventilating your resin cabinet to the outside, you'll be fine. I'll have to check out the grid feature. Also, I don't like. Like I said, I feel like I do, what's it called? It's called like skyscraper printing, where basically you're printing stuff super tall, but it like supports itself as it gets taller. So like this bow staff, like I printed almost vertical, basically just like a tiny notch over, give it a little bit of a tilt. But for the most part, I try to print things to minimize the amount of supports, and that's why I don't use the pre-supported ones. But all right, yeah, I'll have to check that out. Somebody asked if I would do a video on how to do supports. I don't know if that would be helpful to everybody or anybody. I'm not in the tutorial making business, you know what I'm saying? I mainly just want to paint stuff and have people like you fine folks hanging out. Yeah, hey, right on. It's so funny how many people just like stream to, are streaming their stuff now. Pretty cool. A weird future. I was not expecting this to be the future. Everybody just trying to make money, making their own videos, creating their own entertainment. Pretty cool. I also think it's just rad that, we live in a future where you can just push some buttons in a computer and then, push a button on a machine and just these 3D objects just pop out. All right, I feel like I'm moving through this pretty fast. Let me give these. I'm gonna give this bow staff a little bit of a stick. I got his nunchucks kind of. Oh, see, I need to go back and prime that a little bit more. Yeah, I'm gonna dry this bow staff a little bit. Then I can paint the wrap. The rest of these I need to let dry. Kind of rushing through this. I don't know why. Be able to get that hot enough to reshape it. Work for the katanas, but not for that. All right, and for that, I think I'm going to go with some deck tan. Brown mixing with that deck tan, but that's okay. Yeah, Brent is definitely one of my inspirations. He does some great work. And he's right, deck tan is great variation of white. Got a nice warmth to it. Oh, that's way too liquidy. Forgot that whites in general don't need to be diluted as much. He's your Bob. He's like this generation's Bob Ross. At least for painting 3D models. That's a very good analogy. I like that. It would be cool to be able to do this for a living. I mean, I definitely enjoy it as a hobby, but it would be cool to, be able to just get up every day and, just think about what you're painting, the model that you're working on. I hope to get enough, the first videos I watched after I got my printer. Right? I feel like that's probably everybody. I feel like I probably have the same feeling. I definitely watched a lot of his videos in the beginning. I still think that there was a whole lot of like beginner stuff that nobody really told me at the beginning. I didn't learn until after I got some experience, but like just like thinning out your paints, like how to thin out your paints properly. The first few times I painted, well, no, the very first time I painted, that was the first lesson I learned. Was I had really chunky paints on my Miles Morales statue, just super chunky because I wasn't diluting the paint. All right, I can speed this up a little bit. Texture in this wrap is causing little air bubbles. I'm definitely going to coat this. What was the, hey Sam, if you're still there, I don't know, but what was the first statue that you printed and painted? Just curious. Also, when I first started like 3D printing in general, I started with a FDM printer, and yeah, I did not like that at all. The layer lines, the amount of sanding. I guess, I mean, if you're making like helmets or something, like life size stuff, or like really big stuff, I should say, it's probably okay. But I knew I wanted to get into painting statues, so quickly switched to the resin. For sure, I just gave my FDM printer away. I just didn't even want to mess with it. It wasn't like a really nice one either. Like nowadays they come with like auto leveling beds and Bluetooth and all the other shit. but I think I had just like a bare bones, like a basic model. Oh, okay, I'm painting against the grain here. That's why it's like not going well. There we go. There we go. That's better.
Are you leaving me?
We're all leaving.
I'm gonna be weathering this pretty well, so I don't need that. It doesn't have to be flawless. It needs to be covered.
You feel me when you rain it.
I do enjoy this hobby very, very much. It's like I feel like my whole life was like leading up to this thing, this hobby. I dig the science of it, the chemistry, the computer, the 3D, the painting, creativity, the working, doing stuff with your hands. I was always an art house guy. I'm a web developer by trade, so like I don't know, just always been into this combination of things, and to find this hobby that just completely, encapsulates everything that I enjoy. I'm gonna do this until my hands and eyeballs won't let me do it anymore, because I really enjoy it. I wonder if they're gonna let me 3D print in the retirement home. Fucking better. Pay them enough. Cost of inflation, I'm not going to a retirement home. I have to figure something else out. It's ridiculous how much everything costs nowadays. Seriously, I used to be like, oh, don't use DoorDash, save your money. Like shit now. Like you're not saving any money going to the grocery store. Everything's so freaking expensive. Might as well pay somebody else to cook it and bring it to you. At least then you're getting some value from the convenience of the whole thing. You spend more time than you should working on models. Yeah, I work from home too, but I can't. I don't know. It's not like I don't have to be like in the mood to do it, but there's some days where it's like I definitely have to take a break from it, because I feel like if I got into it too much, it would probably be bad news. I would obsess with it. But hey, you know what? If I could get YouTube to pay my mortgage, that would be ideal. That's all I want. I don't want fame and fortune. I just want YouTube to pay for my house. And if that's the case, then I could figure out how to do this full time, or at least part time, along with some web development, stuff. I could work freelance, go back to freelance. I freelanced for a long time, actually. Freelance for many, many years. The only reason I took a full-time job was because I hated doing my own taxes. Trying to not like turtle up when I'm painting here, so I can keep everything on camera, but I think it's hard. Oh, huh, turtle up. That's funny. Funny that I said that. touch it. I can't lean on it. I like to put a finger, like my little pinky finger, on the model so I can judge the distance. But I don't have that luxury with this. I'm not good enough at the painting part to start a channel. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's funny because when I added the whole YouTube part of the hobby, you know, number one, I always told myself that if I didn't enjoy making the videos, I'm not going to make the videos, or that's what I'm going to stop doing. But I also edit videos, partly for my job, partly just for fun. So, you know, adding a little video editing task at the end of my model making has been actually pretty rewarding. You know, it's part of the process that I've come to enjoy. So, like I said, I'm just this was the perfect combination of things for me. And if it works out that I can make a living at it, you know, with the YouTube, I definitely don't want to get into the, because I thought about the idea too of selling models, like just becoming like a 3D print farm. I thought about that idea, and I decided that I don't want people waiting on me. Like, I don't want to have to be like on demand, having to work on stuff for other people, and I definitely don't want to have to do stuff that I don't myself personally enjoy doing. So if I ever did another commission, it's going to be a Marvel or Star Wars or, you know, DC. It'll be some comic, you know, thing. I'm not doing any more like dragons and, you know, weird, not weird, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna, there are things that I'm interested in doing, and I'm going to stay focused on those. But yeah, so I decided that the YouTube method of seeing if I can build up a viewership and get some ad revenue, I feel like that's going to be the best way to go. And it will be cool as shit if it works out. If it doesn't, I'm still going to have a good time doing it. I've painted 2 things. I've had 3D printed, but it looks good to me. A Ghost Rider and a Nightcrawler. That's cool. I need to do a Nightcrawler. I got a really dope ass Nightcrawler statue. As soon as I'm done with the Thanos and the Green Lantern, not together, but those are my next 2 that I think I'm going to do. As soon as my queue clears up again, I'm going to do some more of X-Men, and I've got a rad Nightcrawler and a Gambit that I want to do. The Gambit looks really sweet, and now that I know how to do like transparent, you know, print with ink, you know, and to tint it, adding alcohol inks is the way to go for like clear stuff. So I'm really excited about doing that Gambit and that Nightcrawler. Yeah, the Venom, the Venom Spider-Man from Wicked. That, I think I might have to do that one. But also, I'm thinking about doing a Venom Spider-Man. That's from, I forgot who the sculptor is, but one that's a little tall and skinny. For my built-in shells. But I do really, really like that Wicked one. I'll have to mix up some more deck tan here in a second. All right, let's get this going here. Actually, how can I prop this up? Yes. Let's get mix up some more deck tan. Yeah, me too. I've got a huge library of Wicked models. And the Berserk models. Yeah, I've got a huge selection of those that I got from their Patreon. I like their stuff. And it's good for their Patreon costs, or for I guess Patreon costs in general. Like for the amount of stuff that they give you for $10 a month or whatever it is, it's a really good deal. Not that the other Patreons charge too. I mean, I think they're rightfully so. I mean, they all make really good stuff, and I got a lot of respect for these guys making these 3D models. No, thank you. I'm gonna keep painting. Oh. Oh, I gotta go grab something to eat real quick. So I'm gonna finish this real fast. I'll leave the stream running though if you guys want to keep chatting. I'll be back on in a few minutes. Yeah, I really like the CA Studios stuff too. I don't Patreon. I don't think I'm a Patreon for them. It's too much. I have too much now. That's the problem. I've got so many Wicked models. This is like I can't justify paying another Patreon for just 3D files that are going to sit on a hard drive.
I'll eat yours and then.
No. I just wanted to finish this. Yeah, no. Give me. All right, I need to step away for just a moment, but I will leave this thing running, and I will be back hopefully in a few minutes. So feel free to hang out. All right, I'm back. So what are we talking about? Yeah, Sam, I'm actually gonna finish talking about your Zenithal comment. I'm going to I need to touch up. How did I miss that? I'm gonna do a little black touch up. Actually, since that's black out in there. Yeah, so I'm gonna respray these a little bit of black, and then do a white primer. So if you guys hang out for a few more minutes, I'll probably do the Zenithal on these guys in the next couple minutes. Getting gloved up. I did miss a couple spots, like Mikey's loose nunchucks. I need to black those out a little bit more. So I'm gonna go back to some black primer for a couple spots, and then do the Zenithal with the white. I'm going to take a little turntable here over to the airbrush box. Yeah, I can see a couple spots like in their shell down some of those crevices that I didn't quite get first time. Down there. Yeah, the way the light hits it, sometimes it's hard to see up in that shell right there. A couple little very tip top of his head. We got a couple little spots. I'm gonna go ahead and re-prime. Surface primer action. Let's get back into this.
This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you
Yeah, that's a good. That is a good tip. Trying to look at it from different angles really does kind of help. I guess that's an obvious thing to say, but I am in the middle of finishing this priming, and then a couple minutes to dry, and then I'm gonna do a Zenithal on these guys. But there's so many little nooks and crannies here that they're difficult to get primed. Yeah, Donnie's actually pretty good, I think. Oh wait, spoke too soon. Waiting on that out anyway. Check on Leonardo. Actually, I think Leo is looking pretty good. Turn on this other light. It's gonna get bright for a second. My little inspector light here. Definitely I could probably shoot some right down in there. Right there. His toes. Both his feet. Little wrap right there. Wrap right there. Back there. Yeah. Alright, he's going back in the booth. Yeah, you can see this thing is just not tall enough. Can't hit anything with the swords, but top is hitting. Oh, down there. Huh, thanks, Sam. I'll try that tip out with the brush painting. Good idea. All right. Give those guys a couple minutes to dry. And we'll clean out this airbrush. And I think I may dry brush the fire hydrant. Don't want to give it a wash first. I need to seal in this base coat. Cleaning this dry brush or airbrush. Talk. Cleaning the airbrush. realize how late it was getting. It's almost a little after 8 o'clock. How long has this stream been going? 3 hours? Man, look at me go. All right. That is good. That is good. Let's oh, I missed a spot. Dang it. And right there. All right, back in the booth. I knew I should have checked that out. Yeah, that's crazy. I gotta get those. Had a nice clean airbrush too. What if I just drop it? If I take the cup off, that's one less thing I got clean. Okay, well that was a dumb idea. Making a mess. Give those a few minutes to dry. Clean the airbrush again. And I think I'll dry brush that fire hydrant while the black primer finishes drying. Before I do the Zenithal, and then I think I'll probably call it a night because it's starting to get a little late. Okie dokie. All right, there's that, there's that, there's that. Let's dry brush this fire hydrant. Normally I would seal this, but I'm not too worried about it. Or actually, I should probably try to wash it first and then dry brush it back up. Yeah, that's what I should do. I should give it a little bit of a wash. In that case, I need to seal it, but also I need to go ahead and seal this and the nunchuck wood. I like to do the metals without sealing them, just because I think the varnish kind of dulls the metal too much. So yeah, so I'm gonna paint that after I seal and wash that. So seal, wash. I'll do the seal, let that dry, and then while that's drying, I'll do the seal. Let's go seal these things. I have this on the stick. All right, so for oh, that's a good idea. Doing the gloss before the metallic. Okay, interesting. Well, right now between layers, right now I'm just doing a satin varnish. I really like this Army Painter satin. It just dries really quickly. I'm not going to do these on the metal, obviously, but Oh, that's a good tip. Thank you. Oh, yeah, that would make sense as far as like how the flake kind of disperses in the medium on a glossy surface versus the primer, because the primer's got more bite. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Thank you. Those dry. Those guys are still drying. Clean this airbrush one more time. So much time cleaning the airbrush. Seriously, this is like 90% of statue painting. It's cleaning airbrushes. Cheap disposable airbrushes. $1 billion idea. Be terrible for the environment. I have seen little disposable airbrush cups, but that just seems so wasteful to me. I couldn't do that. The little disposable cups, I guess, so you don't have to clean the cup part of your brush, but you still gotta clean the needle and everything else. It's not like you're gaining anything by doing that. You know what I mean? are going to stay about right there. All right, let's get these guys in a Zenithal, and then I think I might have to call it a night. Kind of rushing through this stuff right now. I'll get my little turntable back. You have to shake primer. I mean, it doesn't really like separate. It doesn't have pigment. I mean, I guess it's all pigment, I guess I should say. I don't know if it separates from its medium or not. What's up, Jeremy? Getting ready to do the Zenithal on these turtles. Oops. Ah. Sorry. A live action Last Ronin? That'd be awesome. I'd watch that shit. I do love the Last Ronin storyline. Did it again. Yeah, they do over here under this light. They do look pretty good. You can sort of see. It does give you a good idea of like where the light is going to be hitting it. And as long as you don't hose on your paints and let some of that saturation kind of come through, the it's a quick way to get some nice shadow going. Probably give him a little bit more of a Zenithal, but that's okay. Raph can be a little dirty. He's the mean guy. I'll give him just a little bit more right there. Get Leonardo in there. Alright, he's kind of tall. I'm actually going to pull this camera up and back a little bit. Nice. I hit it twice. I hit it twice now. Get a little more light over here. It all is. Oh no, it's still so dark. Yeah, this light right here is not bright at all. Come on. Sorry. That's enough. Alright, well, that sucks, but I can't get him under the light and shoot him. So we're gonna have to make this work. That's not a bad idea, Charles. I'm gonna give Leo or Raphael one more pass. He's a little dark. All right. Always have a nice Zenithal. I don't want too much pressure on that peg. I'm gonna put back there. This. Here we go. So that weight's not on that front peg. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, they turned out pretty good. The Zenithal looks pretty nice. All right, I need to let those dry. I need to let the seal, the varnish seal, dry and clean this airbrush. So I think I'm gonna log off. Well, you know what? What time is it? 8:45. I can keep going. Yeah, fuck it. Let's keep going. Although my wife's probably wanting some attention because I have been doing this for almost 4 hours. So, you know what? On second thought, I think I better go. I'm going to call it a night, but I'll be back on tomorrow. Hopefully, most of the day. Now that I got a big part of this thing done, so that's pretty good. Tomorrow I'll start painting bases and weathering some of the other little parts and stuff. Probably mostly just painting bases and the little accessories tomorrow. But yeah, this is moving through pretty quick, so I'm pretty excited. So I'm gonna be back at this tomorrow. Hopefully, Sam, you can drop back by, especially since I know you got all these days off. What's up? And yeah, I will catch you tomorrow for some more Ninja Turtle painting.